Here we are back with War 5 of Season 23. A little bit behind on this. Life and work get in the way. Starting off on my usual Path 9 in Section 1, the Hazard Shift. I got Havok and a Nova. Rulk to deal with both of those. And then got a little bit of a change up. In Section 2, got Path 7 here with this domino, which pretty worried about. Or it was. And then Ma, which I wasn't too worried about. Gonna use Torch with the pre-fight. He pretty much slaughters those. And then on the mini island, I got the Hazard Shift Korg. Once again, we'll see what Siggy is, but shouldn't be an issue for Rulk. So going into this first fight, this Havok, the idea is try to keep him from throwing special ones so I don't have to deal with too much plasma detonates. I am boosted pretty much at the top and hoping to get him down with maybe one plasma detonate, but preferably not eating more than that. Go for the reparries when I can, but I went straight into blocks after the 5 hits. I had a conversation with Dreamin' who said you can't really do that. You got to go 4 hit into the block, and then they won't throw the special one. So I don't know. I've tried it both ways. It kind of just depends on the AI. You can see here I'll take another nice chunk of plasma detonate, but all it is potions in the end, and I didn't die, so it's whatever. This next fight's the Nova. I've taken him before on node 49 on that Hazard Shift Mini, so I could almost say he's a little bit harder here when you're using Rulk because of the physical resistance. So this might be a really good placement for Nova. I won't be surprised if I see him here in the future. But what it comes down to is Rulk on these nodes, he pretty much just shreds through whatever's on there. The global is the stubborn, and so Nova is a defensive defender. So I do kind of factor that in because you'll see me block his specials. And that's pretty much it. Other than, keep an eye out for his auto block. But if you don't have any guaranteed crits or unblockable specials, his Nova charges don't get too extreme. So they're somewhat easy to manage. And I just, as usual, there I was trying to bait a special 1. But because of the dash back power gain thing, he got to a special 2, unfortunately. But just a little bit of block damage, no big deal. But what I was saying is, as usual, just get to an SP3 and throw that off. And let the Incinerate do a lot of work. Because that was 1700 a tick. And as you can see, it chipped him down quite a lot. But you can see from my damage on the base, I'm only doing, piddly damage whenever I don't crit, and Rulk doesn't have the highest crit rate. Surprisingly, I critted there. But so those were my easy fights. I'm so used to that path. There's not a whole lot that I can see there that's really gonna trip me up too much. Going into this fight, this was my biggest worry for this war. I've seen Vega on he's got a YouTube channel. Just search Vega mcoc, and he had a war, and you can see it in his thumbnails where he shows what champs he used in. It's like a month or so ago that he did this fight with mysterio, but I can't remember what boost he had on. I think he was max boosted, but he did not have suicides on, and he would barely get back a bar of power whenever he would throw his special 2. So I'm going a little overboard here. I even throw on the special 3 defense boost just because I wanted to do everything I could, try not to die in this fight. So all the boosts. I did remove dexterity for this fight. If you looked in the chat before the fight, you could see I wrote dex off for this one. For the reason that it removes the spite factor. So if I'm baiting specials, it's not a problem. And you can block all of her specials, and her special 2 you can outrange, which you'll see me do that. You can see I I try not to end my combos whenever she's unlucky, because I don't want her to evade, but I did get lucky there. So right here you can see I got the parry stun off before I threw the special 2 because she was unlucky, and I went much easier than I expected. And you can see whenever I crit, I'm just getting a ton of power back. So I'm very surprised by how much easier this fight was than I expected it would be after watching Vega's video. So suicides make a huge difference with this fight. Just the extra boosts and extra attack and all that, very surprising. We go into this fight, and I didn't really think much of this. I threw on the pre-fight, made sure it applied, because that can sometimes happen with Torch. You put the pre-fight on and it doesn't work. So I backed out and then went back in, switched my masteries, dropped suicides, but I was like, oh, this would be a nice easy fight. And well, if you can't guess by my little chuckle right there, then yeah, this doesn't go so easy. I forgot about the whole, you need to have your temperature up, because normally when you're fighting a Mystic, especially with Maw, he's hitting your block enough where you automatically just have your temperature over 10. And so I'm playing pretty scrub worthy right here. So I used the SP2 to get some adrenaline healing back and get the stun out, and luckily the power stings kill him right there, because that was pretty ugly. I went into that fight far too relaxed and just like, oh, this is no big deal, and never take a fight for granted. But I made it through, so we're all good. Going into this fight, I'll show his SIG here. It's SIG 20. So I was like, oh, well, I'm fine. It's not a big deal. I think I've said it before. I think over 160, I'd have to be concerned about rulk. But under 160, I was just like, whatever. I threw on the advanced power boost just to make things a little bit faster, because I was going to throw on some lighter boosts, because I've done this fight so many times now that it's not really too much of a worry. But the SP1 does speed things up by getting you to the SP3 faster. Going into this fight, and I did remove dexterity for this fight. It makes dealing with Korg much easier whenever you don't accidentally trigger dexterity whenever you're baiting heavies, because it can happen. I didn't think I was dexing the heavy, but so I did remove dexterity, so you won't see me evade out of any of his specials. I will try to outrange his SP2 if I'm comfortable with it. You will see me a few times here in this fight where he'll go 5-hit into the block, and I'll punish that, which I normally don't do too much, but I fought Korg enough on this node now that I've seen him do it. Like, it seems to be more standard than usual. I should have punished there, but I'm pretty much just trying to, whenever the incinerate's up, make sure that the stubborn does not trigger, which I've always thought was kind of weird. Whenever you outrange whenever you evade a basic attack, the stubborn will trigger, and it's kind of odd to me, without dexterity on. But I guess it's about spacing for stubborn, I guess, in some ways. Maybe. I'm not really too sure on that one. But this fight's pretty easy, and with rulk, it's just blast through. Ghost can do this fight. There you see me outrange the SP2, and not really sure who else would be a really good counter. Omega would be fine, I assume, but keeping spores up might be an issue, and you'd have to really watch the incinerate timer. But this should just about kill him, I think. And here's the incinerate. I'll go back in, do a couple taps, and that's all there is to the Korg. You have seen me take him many a time. So, and then we have one additional fight that wasn't on my thumbnail because I didn't know I was going to be taking it until you can see down there. one attack bonus left, just go ahead and finish him off. So I'm like, all right. So you'll see me heal up here and throw on some small boosts, because the way I see it, there's only one thing more embarrassing than healing up and throwing on some small boost to finish off the last 30k health of a war boss, and that's dying to a war boss with 30k health left. So, you know, it's better to be safe than sorry. And these are the little ones I get from the Supreme Solo crystals. So it, like, I don't see why, you know, everyone can't be boosting for pretty much every fight in the war, in every war nowadays, with those Supreme Solo crystals if you're fairly active in the game. And you'll see it's pretty much just a couple combos, SB1 and dead. And that's all there is to this war. That last fight gave me 2.2 points for the PR, so you'll see I would have had about 7.5 PR if without the boss kill, so I might have gotten a card anyway, but I have an asterisk on this card because it's not a true card. I didn't really kill the boss. I just kind of finished off what was left, but you know, it's fine. It's cool to finally get a card. Hopefully I get a legitimate card sometime soon. These are my stats for this, or moving up in this overall for the season so far, and you can see my power rank jumped by quite a bit. I went 6. I'm still 6th in the battle group, but I'm up to 11th overall. So doing better. I would like to give a shout out to Vega. Go look at his video. I think it's like a month old, where he fought that mysterio, or that domino with mysterio, and you can see the difference in our 2 fights. And then to Taters, he gave me a shout out, and so I thank him for that. And Lizer also gave me a shout out, so thanks to all 3 of those. I'll put one of their links in a future video. I can't do it right now because I'm on the road right now. And I guess that's it. Y'all have a good one.